Forget what I said about the last guy. He is more of a king of the jungle. I mean, seriously, look at that sword.
Hey guys, what's up? BC coming back at you guys. Yet another one of these great Transformers video reviews. And today we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers Titans Return Voyager Class Alpha Trion. Now, I realize that this figure was released back in Wave 2. I am literally super late finishing all of Wave 2 because I completely forgot I didn't review this. And I still have like all the other leader class figures to review too, but that's besides the point. Fact is, I'm catching up on a lot of videos, so I'm basically just putting I put a lot of them on the back burner. A lot of current ones that I wanted to do because I want to finish up Titans Return before the next line comes and before I get Trypticon and all. You guys know what I mean. With that said, yeah, here's the Lion mode, and as soon as I saw this Lion mode, I pretty much said straight up, this is gonna get reused and redone as Lyle Convoy at some point. I just know it. I just know it. I just know it. And sure enough, it happened. And I want it super badly. I'm probably never gonna be able to freaking afford it, but I want it. Man, I want it. But with that said, yeah, the Lion mode, you can kinda say it's a Lion mode. Like, you can sort of say it's a Lion mode, but at the same time, not really. It looks very lion-like. So, without messing up my background, let's kind of get in and get a look at some of the detail work on it. He has this really massive lion head. And it's cool. I don't mind the look so much, but I just wish that the lion mode was just a wee bit more posable. And now that's more of a minor gripe than a major complaint, because to be completely fair, once you set him down, even though the front paws on mine are really loose, I'm probably gonna end up getting in there with some floor polish eventually. Hey. Even though he really doesn't have all that much articulation, the Lion mode is extremely stable. You can set it down and it'll stay. It won't move, which is good. Now, articulation-wise, he does have movement within these leg joints, like little wrist joints. The paws move from up and down, even though they're really loose. I guess you could call that a thigh rotation, and then a bend here. And then back here, he's got a bend that way, and then a bend that way, and then a bend that way, but that's mostly due to transformation. You can clearly tell the Lion mode is where he kind of falls apart, but I still like it. Now, you could kind of cheat and get some head movement out of this by, just due to the way this transforms, these pieces can kind of come out a bit and kind of get the line to look in multiple different directions, and this piece does not really stay on all that well, so I'm gonna just set it to the side. But yeah, you can kind of see how that's really not intended to be articulation, and it kind of, just the Lion mode is not that exciting. I'm, clearly enough this is gonna look better as Lyle Convoy whenever I get that. So yeah, with that said, we're gonna take this piece and we're gonna just pop it off, because we're gonna take him into his battleship mode, which pretty much flat out confirmed broadside was happening. We're gonna flip this rear leg up and around like this, and then flip up the lion paw. Flip this up, and you can clearly tell, like, there's a little tab right there, and it's implied that it's gonna tab into that, but it doesn't. So yeah, fold those up, flip the paws up, flip these around, straighten this piece out like that, Then you're going to take these pieces by the thigh, and you're going to rotate them, and you're going to tab this whole underplate together like that. Then you're going to take the whole figure and you're going to flip it around like this. Take these panels and flip them back like this, and make sure that they solidly lock into place back here. And I'm just now realizing that there are a whole bunch of details on here that are not on broadside. Woo Nelly. Alright. So now, from here, we're going to take these lion paws. Do they need to stay there? Yeah, they do, because you got to be able to fold this piece around. And while it's there, then you bring these pieces down like this, fold them up. So this whole piece comes up and retabs in up here. All of that clears the ground, and very, very considerate of you guys. You gotta flip out stand. Now you split the lion head in half. And this whole piece, and both these pieces, are going to flip around, and there's a little tab right here that'll slot in right there to hold this whole piece into place. Now, other people have done the battleship mode differently. I'm actually probably in the minority where I actually dig the way the stock transformation looks, other than the weapon storage. Flip this piece around and plug it in up here, and there is your battleship mode. 1-6 in focus. There we go. So yeah, there's the battleship mode. And you know, clearly enough, it's the stronger mode of the two. And I've actually had this battleship mode up on a stand. I don't 100% remember how I had it propped up on the stand, but this thing looks awesome when it's actually up on a display stand. Just, I don't know why. Just, it is. Now, when I said so long as it's not storing the weapons, the battleship mode looks fine. Because this piece goes here, and then the sword just kind of drapes on there. There you go, there's your weapon storage. Yeah, that's dumb. I mean, these guns up in the front, I can get behind that. I can kind of see how that works. But just the sword being right there. Really? Like, honestly, I'm surprised that that they didn't come up with a way to make the sword the stand. Like, just, this would look like, that already look and feel better than just draping it on the side. But, you know, it's whatever. They made the decision. They will reap the consequences from it, which basically means they will hear the fans roar, even though they've already heard the fans roar. Because I'm really late on this video. Anyways, we can finally, you know, crack open the namesake of this whole line. Stay there. There we go. Pop out the little headmaster and close this back up. Here is, I believe his name is Autobot Sovereign. I dig it. I really do. I think he looks quite cool. And you know, clearly enough, you can tell that this is gonna be reused as a Broadside's headmaster, whose name I am not going to say right now because I am basically going to wait until I actually review Broadside before I say the name of the headmaster. With that said, folding this in half. Whoops. There's Alpha Trion's head, and I really love the head. Alpha Trion's head looks awesome. So yeah, there you go. Now that I have that in head mode, let's go into the robot mode. So we're going to flip these panels back down. Coming around, flipping this around like this. Untab these sections and rotate them back around like this. And you see this little purple notch right here. It's kind of serves as a guider because you'd want this smaller bit of the maroon to be touching the purple. And this will ensure Alpha Trion will stand up just fine. Because if you have this up forward or back like this, because if you had it back like that, he tends to kind of fall forward. But then when you have it all the way back like that, he's standing up perfectly fine now, making a liar out of me, you prick. But normally, he would actually, just do his own way, he'd topple backwards. So the best way to do this is to line these two bits up like that, and that gives them the perfect standing base. So bring the camera back up, you gotta take these line bits, kind of bring it out like this, untab the arm from there, and then bring it out. And then just bring the whole piece in like that, rotate at the bicep, and rotate at the wrist. There you go, there's his arms. Do the same thing over here, and just kind of get everything done. Now, for whatever reason, when I got mine, this was very hair trigger. It almost made playing with the toy virtually impossible. Well, how I rectified it was I just turned it this way and then clicked it back in. Because it's so long as it's like that, when you plug the head on, you can literally just use the actual headmaster ball joint to straighten his head back out. So yeah, that's not that big a deal. But given the fact that I actually, dig the gimmick on this one, now you have what is essentially the Voyager class's gimmick, where it has the deployable spires. And his kind of works because it kind of gives him a Samurai Master vibe. And with that said, there's his robot mode. Giving him his weapons real quick. There's his gun, and then the badassery that is his sword. And that's Alpha Trion's robot mode. Is it safe to say I cannot wait to own this as Lyle Convoy at some point? Because I do plan to get that. I'm going to shut up about it now. The robot mode, again, I dig it. I really, really dig it. And he's our first official Alpha Trion toy. And even then, I kinda wish he was, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I kinda wish he was a little bit more akin to the G1 design. There. I said it. I said it. I fully admitted it. I wish he was a little bit more akin to the original G1 design, but even then, I really love the way this turned out. Like, I find myself in a bit of a gray area with him. I really like him, I really do, but I wish he was more G1. And that lion mode, while I personally feel like the lion mode could have been better, I also kind of saw the lion mode being repurposed immediately, and then it pretty much, like, a month after, I pretty much straight up said, I'd love to have this as Lyle Convoy. Takara. I swear, Takara loves to nag at me sometimes. But, that's whatever. That's whatever. I really dig, like I said, I really, really dig the way he came out. Now, articulation-wise, he does have the turning axis here, which, mine just might be collecting dust in there, so it's a little difficult to move in there. He's got the Titan Master ball peg, so it moves around. He's got the 360 shoulder movement, the shoulder movement in and out, the bicep swivel, the ridiculously good elbow, and shockingly, I thought these were just hinge joints, or not hinge, swivel joints. But as you can clearly see in there, that's a ball joint. So yeah, he's got ball jointed wrists. Nice touch. He doesn't really get much movement out of him, but, nice touch. The crotch flap moves up and down. Hip joints, backwards and forwards, in and out, a thigh swivel, a 90-degree knee bend, and nothing really at the feet. So yeah, my final thoughts. I like him. I really do. When we first found out we were getting an Alpha Trion, I got really excited, and then I got the figure and I was very happy with him. But the more I looked at him, the more, I openly admit, the more I look at him, the more I wish he was more G1, because I would love to throw him on a classic shelf, but I'm probably not going to, because I think he looks great with the rest of the Titans Return figures. So, with all that said, guys, I like him. I really, really, really like him. But he barely misses that mark. And, when I say barely, I emphasize on the barely. He's a good toy. I do like him a lot. There are some stores that still have him, unfortunately, because that just means that, they won't be getting in any other figures, but he's still a good toy. I do like him. So, yeah, I really don't have much else to say about him. Everything that I could say has already been said, which is kind of the problem with me being so late on these nowadays. Everybody says what I could have, but that's besides the point. The point is, I like him, I recommend him. I wish he wish he was a little closer to the original G1. Just a little bit. With all that said, guys, I've taken up enough of your time. This is BC saying stay nerdy and get your geek on. I will catch you guys next time. Bye.